Okay, today's Sunday. You know what that means. Today's church day. I was like, all of a sudden I was sitting here, I'd gotten back 3 hours up at the parking lot, and I got back, and it was so hot. Like that sun, I just don't understand how, I don't know, it's weird. Like, but people are waking up to all this crazy shit, but still, it's just so weird. Um, Anyways, so I was up there for like 3 hours. I come back and the dogs just start running me. And I swear to God, it just go, 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 go. And then all of a sudden I realized like, oh, tomorrow's church day. Should maybe going to church. It's like a whole day thing, man. I can fucking turn that TV off and download, man. And so I'm going to do a couple of short ones again because I do have quite a few things I want to talk about. And so the... So the church, because she didn't go the first day when I was here. I don't remember what the deal was then. I think the guy who takes her was sick. And then last week, I think he was still sick and she was sick or something. I don't remember. But this week they're going. So, and then they're going to lunch after and stuff. So it's in church is like at 9:30 to 12:30. It's a fucking all day thing, man. And then go to lunch and stuff. So I'm really hoping to get all this stuff downloaded. So then I'm gonna switch it. So tomorrow would be Monday. So Monday and Tuesday I'll record, and then Wednesday I'll go download them, and then Thursday and Friday I'll record, and then while I'm in town shopping I'll download it. And then we'll see what goes on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe Sunday she'll go to church again. So Saturday, I'll do Saturday and Sunday. I'll do short ones again. So in case she goes, then I can download those Sunday while she's gone. And then my Starlink should be here Monday or Tuesday. And so then I'll start with that. And somebody, Crystal said in the comments that Sloan Bella uses one too, and she loves it. So I think it's the way of the future. I think, yeah, the faster you get into that, buy onto that, I think, because think about, like, that's what they saved North Carolina with, like, when everything was down. So they went and put that, he went and gave it to everybody or something. So anyways, I think that is a sign. And I don't know, I'm pretty good at reading the signs or something. And it's kind of trippy. Like, I'm coming into this realization of myself, which is, it's making me feel super emotional, man. It is weird. It's so weird to go through your whole life being some weirdo misfit. And then all of a sudden, this whole thing to happen and be like, I knew what was going on the whole fucking time. I was trying to tell people and nobody would listen. And now it's like, I don't know, it's really weird. It's the weirdest experience. And it's very chaotic, and it's no accident by any means that I am right where I'm supposed to be. I am not shitting you. Like, it's tripping me out too, because it's like where I started, it's very weird. There's like so many conversations, and so I'm going to give some perspective on that, but I definitely am not trying to say, like, I'm on the right side and somebody else on the wrong side, because I feel like so much is a programmed collective on the religion and stuff. But now, like, I've been saying this stuff is going to go on, and it's going. And so while it's going, I feel like we're close to the change. Like, all this stuff going makes me feel like we're close to this change, because everything is so chaotic. It's what wakes everybody up, and then we change, we turn. And so the Nashville shooting in a mall, I've been saying, you gotta keep out of these big public places, nightclubs, malls, shopping centers, all this stuff. Like, people have got to wise up. But it's going to keep going, because these are their experiences to wake them up. So, that the crazy amount of fires and explosions and crashes is over the top. It's so over the top, and it's just going and going and going. So the one over in Philly, they are saying it looked more like missiles and stuff. And when you see some of the aftermath, yeah, it's like, that doesn't seem like a plane crash. And then they come up with the whole story too, the pull at your heartstrings story, because yeah, my mom's on that. Like, what trips me out all the time too is how sad that you know, some Christians get over other people dying. It's like, I thought that's where, I mean, you guys are wanting the rapture, you're wanting to go there. Like, why are you sad? Because people are going there first. I don't understand what they think life is. Like, it trips me out, man. I just don't get it. And it's so weird to me, just how weird I was to everybody else. That is like, this whole thing is so weird, man. So, there's 2 wildfires in New Mexico. Hawaii has got some crazy fucking shit going on. I think floods and windstorms or something crazy. California has got a refinery on fire. It's got a bunch of fires. It's got crashes. It's got a plane crash into a mall. And where some of this you guys start seeing, like, they're you know, this could be total attacks. I think some of this stuff has to do with the atmosphere, the energy waves that are in the atmosphere. And it is, you know, just like all the birds are going the wrong way and stuff. It's throwing everything off because everything's turning. It's actively turning directions and energetically. And so it's throwing things off because people don't understand, like, what this place is and what we're doing here and stuff. And this kind of stuff is going to teach people on a different level. Plus, we're under attack, so there can be a total mix. Plus, they could be setting up for some blue beam thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. And it's just going to keep building and building into this, you know, this big clap. This big, like, thunderous clap of change. It's going to be just, like, super dramatic, it feels like. But it's the change. It's when everything goes the other direction. And yeah, it is crazy that all these people who just were blind followers on him, and now they are turning on him. But I said that was going to happen. I said everything, he's going to start doing things that are going to outrage some of the people, because it's supposed to be that way. He's supposed to be waking them up, not creating a following, not creating a savior, not everybody here, this guy's going to save you, sit back and go to work and be mindless and he'll do the work for you. No, this is the time of you wake up and you figure out what it is you want for yourself, not what this guy is offering. What do you want for yourself, and how do you go to it? Because that is what he's opening the door for. He's opening the doors for us to be able to go through and find our truth, find our purpose, to figure out what we're doing here. And so he's not meant to just come in and, you know, he's going to fix it all and we can all just go back to sleep. No, he's going to push, and it's all going to be on people's moral compass, their ethics and stuff. And that is all to get us to look at things in a broader perspective, to see, to really hone in on things and figure out, like, where do we stand on things. And it's not normal to just align with somebody fully, all completely, you know, because we're all different. So we all have different things, different perspectives and stuff. We're not meant to all blend in. We're meant to figure out how to get along with our differences. And so, and that is an energy. That is an energy that the universe seeks. And so it's a part of purpose. It's part of this purpose of this change. You know, at different ages and different times, it wasn't as necessary, but the new age has everything to do with everybody coming together and their differences and learning how to love each other. So, and an expansion too on your connection to yourself and to the world around you. It's a different kind of connection. And which, by the way, yesterday I also saw this girl who she kept talking about God and Jesus. There's a lot of these people who, you know, they're always talking directly to God and Jesus, and they're giving them the storyline of what's going down. And they'll come in prophetic dreams and sessions and meditations and all that stuff. So there's tons of people who, and it's all based on their perspective or their concept, you know, like, I mean, you're probably just talking to a lot of beings out there, your higher self and stuff, but people are talking to God. And so this lady, she was talking to God, and he said that there was about to be some volcanoes. And so she was like, well, where? And he took her into a map, and he showed her Mount Adams. And then he said it's going to ripple out. One is going to cause the next one and the next one, and the tectonic plates are going to shift. So the earthquake at Mount Adams, she said, is going to cause this huge shift. Like the tectonic plates are going to break away from each other, like something's going to go down. And when that goes down, and I've talked about this for so long, I said there's going to be these reverberations. Like this happens there, it reverberates over here. So these things bouncing back and forth. So she said that once Mount Adams goes, it's going to go over to Mount Rainier, and then it's going to head up towards Mount Baker. But as it goes up, it's going to go through Tacoma, Seattle, and Bellingham. That is right in the area that I was talking about. The area that I said is going to be hit, and it's going to cause so much problems. But there's going to be, the thing that would get me is that there's going to be all these shifts in the tectonic plates. And when those shifts start going and those big trees start falling, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. And I think that that is going to go down, because I was in between Bellingham and Mount Baker. And so it would, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be bad, you know, once this starts going. And I don't know, you know, how accurate her thing was. She was very, you know, and then he showed me on this map, this, and then showed me that and stuff. So she said it's just going to suddenly start. So Mount Adams, so I went to look to see where's Mount Adams. So Mount St. Helens, there's a fucking shit ton of volcanoes in Washington. Like, damn, man. Oh yeah, and there's activity in Yellowstone too, and that would affect Spokane. The Yellowstone, when it goes, it has a zone. You can look it up, because it's a super volcano, so it has a red zone, a yellow zone, and a green zone. But it's gonna affect when the super volcano goes, the scientists have said, you know, that it's the end of times, because the smoke and all of the stuff that's going to go in the sky, it would, you know, it would do mankind in. So it's going to be some rough stuff, you know. And who knows, maybe we're going to be driven underground or into caves for a while. I have no idea. Maybe we're going to just all go up on ships until, I have no idea. Maybe it's not going to be exactly like how they say. I have no idea. But there's all this activity, and there's all this shifting, and everything is vibrating, everything is falling, everything is going, like stuff is happening. We're in a shift, we're in a change. And so so I looked on the map, and Mount Adams, so where my kids are is Yakima. And that's my older daughters with my grandkids. My younger daughters haven't had kids. They both are like, I'm not having kids in this world. And so I don't know that they'll ever have kids. And but my older daughters each have 4. And but one of my oldest daughters, one of hers is passed. So so living is 7. There's 3 and wait a minute, no, because that is, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So like, man, you can lose. I'm the worst with numbers. I swear to God. So I used to be better though, but I still wasn't good with dates. I still was horrible with dates. Anyways, so I looked on the map, and Mount Adams is in between Spokane and Yakima. So it's like, I don't know, central, kind of like more central, kind of, but a little bit more leaning in towards east. So when that one goes, so within Mount Rainier is right above them. So that's the big one that I talked about which is so beautiful if you drive through that pass and stuff. Now's not the time. Just look it up. It's real beautiful. Like it's crazy when you're driving through it. Some of these passes are so crazy when you drive through them. They're so deep. It's very dramatic, and it's intense, especially for somebody who has a problem with heights. It's very intense. So so anyway, so Mount Adams, which I hadn't even thought about, I don't know. When I heard it, it sounded familiar, but I don't know. It seemed like I don't know. But then, so Mount Adams is over here. So Yakima is here. So Seattle is over here. And so you got to go across this pass to get over towards Seattle. So this pass, this is where I think the water is coming up to, is up to here. And it's a long ways. It's like 100 miles. And so I think that's where the water is going to come up. And I don't know how high it's going to go up on the mountain range, but I think it's coming in. And don't forget, there's going to be a lot of shifting going on in the tectonic plates. Things are going to be going down lower, and things are going to jolt up higher and stuff. So it's going to be dramatic. So once that volcano goes, if she's right, in which I have thought that there's going to be these, it just is like, when if I look at it, that's how I see this reverberation, because it's the earth is changing, and it's in this reset where, the places that are populated are going to go in history realm, and the places that aren't are going to go into creation, the new world that we're going to create. And so it's not like we're going to stay in St. Louis and we're going to tear everything down and we're going to rebuild. No, St. Louis will end up underwater, under mud, under fires. It's just, places are going to be destroyed. There's going to be remnants of places. And so, but, you can sit here and fear, like, oh my God, get out of the city, and do all that stuff. But everybody's right where they're supposed to be. Like, wherever you are, you got to listen to your own instincts, your own gut. That's what you got to listen to. Right on the 17. I'm telling you, there's something more with this 17 situation and all of the conspiracy theory and all of the bullshit. There's something about it. It's used all the time in communication with me. All the time. So the Mount Adams one, which I told my daughter yesterday, I was like, really start thinking about evacuation if you're on foot, and trying to be able, because once that goes, okay, so the 90 is what would cross there. Mount Stevens is like over here, but the people are not going to go that direction, because like so if you're in Seattle, okay, let's look at this. So if you're in Seattle, this is good, because Bellingham would be here. Seattle, Tacoma. See, it's got this peninsula thing, which is going to slow stuff down, but there's going to be tectonic plates that are going to be busting, and volcanoes. So so this part is the water. So then you go across here. So this is all these fancy Issaquah, different fancy, expensive places where the rich people live. A whole bunch of those. And all of a sudden I just had a thing about, because Yakima is mostly migrants, and about there was a kid that went missing at the same time, and that same night there was a kid that was out in front of a 7-Eleven. And anyways, it just made me feel like, like shopping, because there's some rich people who are involved in some creepy shit, man. Like, fuck, the one guy just there's so many getting busted right now. And one was Barack's, one of his advisors or something. He just got contained. And he was going to meet a 9-year-old, taking a plane. His suitcase was full of, these people are so fucking weird. Like, what in the fuck? What are you getting from this? Like a child, God, I don't know what grosses me out so much. It grosses me out. Like, isn't that kind of act supposed to be like a reciprocal kind of love, like not about control? And I don't know, it's really sick. Like, these people have really got warps, sexual problem. Like they're broken, or They're not fixing themselves. Like, I don't know what the fuck. It's weird. So, anyways, let's get back to this. So, wait, was this hand right? Okay, so so then you have these cities. Okay, so then if you get to Mount Rainier, so Mount Rainier is here. So if you go down here, this would be Mount Stevens. That one would be, you would have to go down, like it would be up from Bellingham, but it'd be down from Seattle. People are not going to know. The people are not going to even know routes and stuff. People don't know the state highways. They are so dependent on the, the classic government interstates and freeways and shit. They know those ways around. Well, those ways are controlled and contained. They're going to be crisis. It's a part of the whole thing. So once evacuations start going, it's going to be a lot of like what they show in the movies, where it's just cars, people trying to walk, traffic jams, people running out of gas, trying to carry their stuff, people getting mad and freaking out on each other. It's going to be absolute chaos, because once people go into fear, because they don't, like if they understood that they're the orb and that they would be going home, they wouldn't be so scared. And so, and some of them aren't going home. They're going to the next hard thing, the next recovery package that's going, because it's going to be this constant kind of thing. And so once that goes, so these people, they only will go this way. Like, I don't think there's any other way. So that is going to be so blocked off. And once you go out of there, so I think it's like 90 miles or something to the top of the path to Snoqualmie. And so Snoqualmie, okay, let me think. Because Mount Rainier, so Snoqualmie, they have to pass Snoqualmie. Mount Rainier is down further. So if you were looking at the map, so they would have to cross Snoqualmie. But down here is Mount Rainier. So they won't have to go. But this isn't that far where Mount Rainier is from Snoqualmie Pass. So all these people would be trying to leave this pass, but they're going to have to go through this section where the grounds are going to be coming apart, and there's going to be smoke and stuff. It's going to be fucked, man. God, I'm so glad I'm out of there. Oh my God, I just kept seeing it and seeing it and seeing it. Every time I would think about it, I kept seeing it, and I was like, oh my God, don't tell me I'm going to be here for this. Like, fuck, man. And it is going to be fucked. So the ground's going to be coming apart. It's going to be so much panic. But this situation, there's a situation that happens in Washington State that other people are predicting too, that it's going to change. It's like, and this girl said that she also saw like a person look up and speak to Jesus, and they went from fear to not being fearful. So this is what is happening, is people connecting to the orb inside and remembering who they are, and all of a sudden, but people are lost from that. And so that, all this stuff has to occur. And so anyways, so when they start trying to go, it's going to be absolute chaos. The evacuation is going to be crippling. It's going to be what takes out a lot of people. The smarter ones would be the ones that knew their routes and stuff, just like what the doomsdayers were telling people a long time ago. You got to get out there. You got to know your routes. You got to have stuff along the way. Be prepared. Don't just leave your stuff, where you're taking everything. Put things, have a place where your stuff is. So you get to that and you got your setup. You've got your tent and stuff sitting there waiting for you. But a lot of people, aren't thinking ahead. They're thinking about, the prices of stuff, what the crazy stuff going on, the challenges that they're having in their own lives and stuff. So they're not thinking in that way. But that, I just started realizing some of this stuff, like when I was doing road trips, because I didn't want to go through the interstate and all the craziness because of my brain injury. I wanted to stay, in a peaceful little drive. And so I started learning the state highways and started seeing the difference, and started seeing, like, that's the way we want to travel, not their fucking interstates. The interstates they put in Well, so that they could put in their hotels and their gas stations and stuff and direct our route to control our movement and to get us to pay them instead of going through little towns and paying little mom and pop places. So they drove the economy in a certain direction by doing that stuff. And so many people became dependent on it. They don't even realize there's state highways and stuff. And there's still little towns all along the state highways. So once you start going, so you'd find places, you know, I mean, some of these rural places are going to be evacuating too. And so, but anyways, to me, it's a lot more safer than just doing the interstate. I think the interstates are going to be insane and violent and scary and just like what they've shown in the movies. And so so once that goes and the people start trying to go across and all that stuff is going, and she's saying it's gonna, the reverberation's gonna go over into the tectonic plates on the coast, and it's gonna fuck up Tacoma and Seattle and Bellingham, which then the Mount Baker is up from Bellingham. And so that one starts going too. And that one is, the geologist I knew, she was telling me like the difference in a couple of the volcanoes. Some are gas and some are lava. And Mount Baker, I think she said, is gas. And it's a toxic fumes. And so the gases coming out can kill the people. Like they have to have those things on to breathe and stuff. So there will be a lot of people who will die from that. And a lot of people will be trapped in certain areas and stuff, just like what has gone on in North Carolina. And there's lots of little rural mountain, lots of people living out like that all over the place in the mountains over here too. And, this is Bigfoot territory. And so there's lots of people out, living out all over the place. And so so that will be a crisis. There'll be people who aren't, can't sit around waiting for people to come rescue, because for one thing, the people who have the abilities, they don't give a shit. They're trying to kill us. And the other thing is that everybody's going to be running for their lives and stuff. It's the best to try and form groups, and groups to evacuate with, like groups of people like that, like tribes, people coming together and taking care of each other, sharing resources and stuff. And this is also where you need your peanut butter and crackers or your granola bars or whatever it is that you feel like you can sustain yourself. And think about, like, you can't carry 15 grocery carts with you. So you're going to have to cut down on what it is that you think you need. And you're going to have to get out of the disaster zones by going and walking and stuff. And there's going to be so much, and it's going to keep going, I think. Once it starts going, there's going to be these big jolts and big shifts that's going to keep happening. And it's going to start going up and down the coast and probably through the Ring of Fire. Like, it's going to start going really crazy once the stuff starts going. And so I don't know how accurate she is, but I was like, oh shit. So I was telling my daughter, like, because I have felt for a long time, like even before, when I would start feeling like, well, if I get evicted, then that's why. I kept feeling like it's because I was really stressing about it. Every time I would think about it, I would see like this stuff and I'd be like, fuck, are you joking? I gotta be here for this like shit. And then, and I was like, well, whatever. I mean, if that's what I got to do, maybe I'm supposed to lead people over a mountain or something. Fuck, I don't know. And so it was stressing me out, though. So I was really kind of relieved. And I'm telling you, everybody from my place has gotten healthier by getting out of there. Like, Stella's health has like improved so much. Her little fatty lump things have gotten better. Like, everything has gotten better for us. Even Max hasn't puked in like, I don't know, 24 hours or something. He's eaten a couple of times and hasn't puked, so we'll see. I already ate. I made him some like chili mac. My mom made me a can of chili and a box of macaroni and cheese, and Stella was wanting to eat as soon as she gets up. She wants to eat nonstop. It is the most crazy thing. And so I made him the macaroni and cheese and put the chili, and they loved it. So, anyways, we'll see if he pukes that out. But they're all doing better. But I'm thinking has to do with his anxiety. He's got such bad anxiety. I don't know what his life was like in the streets. I don't know what his life was like before the streets. I don't know how long he was in the streets. Like, I don't know, but he's got horrible anxiety. And so, anyways, oh, I'm going to stop here. I'll be right back.